TNA Wrestling still feeling the fallout from Slammiversary a week and a half ago. Well, they are heading to the Sunshine State. TNA Wrestling this Friday and Saturday at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa, Florida. They'll be taping for their hit weekly series, TNA Impact, which you can see Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on Access TV. And tickets are available at TNAWrestling.com. Someone that should figure prominently into those events joins me now on the hotline, a 10-plus year veteran of the Ring Wars, gifted musically, and right now, probably one of the most viral sensations in pro wrestling. If you say his name, he will appear. It is Joe Hendry. Follow him on all social media at Joe Hendry. Joe, I did say your name, and here you are. Thanks for joining me. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for the awesome introduction. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Before we get to the wrestling, I want to talk about your music because I'm in Austin, Texas. We call ourselves the live music capital of the world for a reason. And you have really made yourself known in the music world as well as in wrestling with your musical talents. When was it that you kind of realized that A, you did have a talent for music, and B, you could incorporate it into your wrestling?
So I have never been the guy to have like natural talents. I've always worked at everything that I had. The only thing that came naturally, well, I say the only thing that came naturally to me was grappling. But then when I think about it, I started grappling when I was 6 years old, you know? So it's like, to be honest, I started learning about music when I was 15 and I got GarageBand that allowed me to learn the art of songwriting. And I worked at it nonstop for 10 years, you know? So that's kind of how I got into music. I made my own music and performed live for 10 years before I ever got into professional wrestling. So it really is just, for me, it's down to putting in the 10,000 hours, to be honest.
Well, and you do a fantastic job. You do your own entrance theme. You've made all these parody songs, which are always fun. I was doing research. Did I see right? You are a black belt in judo. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm a black belt in judo, and I'm a two-time national champion in freestyle amateur wrestling and Greco-Roman wrestling as well.
Okay, that's awesome. Are you following the Olympics any? I know you're Scottish, so checking out the home team there.
I haven't. No,
okay.
I have to say I haven't. It's so I see it sometimes at the performance center. They sometimes have the Olympics on the screen, so I've just kind of been looking at a few things here and there. But to be honest with you, like it's all go for me right now. All I've been able to focus on is the task at hand. This has been, the run of a lifetime really since my song came out on April 29th. It's just been all go since then. I haven't had any free time to do anything. So I'm just focused on working right now. So we'll see. When the train's leaving, when the train's leaving the station, you got to get on the train. That's what I've been doing. So there'll be time to catch up with watching TV and things like that another time in my life, but it ain't now. That's for sure.
No, I get that. I met, before this current run in TNA, great run on the independent scene. You were in Ring of Honor for a bit. Was there a lesson from that experience that has helped you in your current successful run in TNA?
It's very simple. If anyone wants to become a successful professional wrestler, you have to very honestly rate yourself out of 10 in 5 areas: your in-ring work, your physique, or your look, your charisma, your ability to promote yourself, and your professionalism. And you need to rank yourself out of 10. You need to say, look, how easy am I to work with? How do I show up on time? Do I do all the right things? That's the professionalism part. How do I promote myself on social media? What are my metrics like? Am I over? Am I, asking yourself those things. My look, if someone was to make a Joe Hendry action figure, if a kid was to make me in a video game, would they know exactly what it was supposed to look like? I believe that they would. What am I like on the microphone? What am I like in the ring? You have to honestly rate yourself out of 10. And when I did that, the scores are they're lower than you might think they would be at the start of the journey. But then you just have to go, hey, wait a second. If I can add 1 out of 10 to each of these metrics in a 3 to 6 month period, you only have to do that for a couple of years and you'll be on TV soon enough. That's all you have to do to be a successful professional wrestler.
I mean, it sounds simple enough, but I know it's hard work. I do some work with Dustin Rhodes Wrestling Academy here in Austin, and
Yeah,
I
awesome.
see those guys do. They work at it, and Dustin, talks to them about being on TV and such. So I get the whole package. Before we talk about your work in TNA, I gotta touch on this crossover appeal, this relationship with TNA and WWE, and specifically NXT. And man, you talk about viral. I mean, you've been on NXT, of course. There are signs for you on Raw, on SmackDown, everywhere WWE goes. I mean, this is it's kind of cool, to be honest, right?
Oh, it's incredible. It's what I've been working for 11 years, I always knew that it would reach critical mass one day because I've done, 100 entrances or something like that. So I knew it would happen. I just didn't know it would happen as, astronomically as this all at once. But it has, and I'm grateful for it. And it's happened because of the fan support. So thank you to the fans for allowing that to happen.
And you mentioned about the song, your entrance song. I tell you what, that thing's been in my head for like the last 3 weeks. I keep every time I turn around, it's like, I believe in joy. It's just, but it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. Let's talk about your work in TNA. You are a former digital media champion. That belt is around the waist of PCO, that big monster. I know you would love to get that title back, but I got to imagine you have loftier goals as well.
I was the longest reigning digital media champion of the company's history. So, I feel that box is ticked. I believe I'm the face of TNA wrestling, and I don't need to believe. I don't need to believe that. You only need to look at the metrics. You only need to use Google Trends to see who the face of TNA wrestling is, and it's me. So what needs to happen next is I need to go for the TNA World Championship. So I need to put myself in a position to become the number one contendership, and I need to go after what is mine. All due respect to the top talents we have, we've got an unbelievable main event scene here in TNA wrestling, but make no mistake about it. As John Cena said to Cody Rhodes, when you don't have the title, you need to be the champion without the belt. And I am the champion without the belt. It's time for me to be the champion with the belt.
Totally get that. I agree. I mean, that's they say you don't get in wrestling unless you want to be a world champion. So that makes
sense.
You had a shot at the world title at Slammiversary in that 6-way. In fact, you pinned Moose, who was the champion at that time.
Yes.
Looked like you were on your way to possibly achieving that goal. And then Josh Alexander comes up behind you, low blows you, pins you, and you're eliminated. What's the deal with Josh Alexander? He's changed his attitude. He's not the standard guy that he was.
Yeah, Josh is jealous because now I'm the guy. I'm the guy that the fans want to see win the title. And you know what, Josh? You had your turn. You were the longest reigning champion of the company's history. You're a fantastic professional wrestler. But sorry, you ain't Joe Hendry. If I'm Josh Alexander, I'd probably kick me in the nuts too. Because that's what you'd have to do to stop Joe Hendry. If I'm Josh, I'm looking at me and I'm going, damn, Joe's a national champion in freestyle and Greco-Roman. He's a black belt and he's pretty damn entertaining too. Damn, that's going to be a tough day at the office. And you're right, it is, Josh. So I understand why he kicked in the nuts. He has to do something like that to beat somebody like me. But you know what? Respect. You did what you needed to do to get the victory, Josh. But you will not stand in my way of becoming the TNA World Champion. And like I say, you look at and this is the thing. Josh he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, no doubt about it. Same thing with Nick Nemeth, one of the best to ever lace up a pair of boots in that ring, but he's not Joe Hendry. I am the face of TNA wrestling. Time to make it official.
I love it. I think it's great. Yes, Nick Nemeth, of course, the current TNA World Champion. We'll see what he does with that title. I want to ask you about this weekend, Friday, Saturday in Tampa, Florida, at the Florida State Fairgrounds. You're going to be part of a meet and greet session on Friday. I gotta ask it just because I'm curious. What is the most unique request you've ever gotten from a fan during a meet and greet?
Most unique requests. I've had some odd requests. The only negative, the only negative experience I had was in Philadelphia where there was a guy from like a local radio station who just interrupted the meet and greet and put like a microphone in my face and ruined the experience for the fans that were there. That was upsetting because the fans had paid good money to be there, and this guy that just shoved the microphone in my face. So that was pretty weird. But he wasn't a fan. TNA fans don't act like that. TNA fans are super respectful. They're awesome. I really, honestly, I genuinely, I'm trying to think. I don't really have anything that springs to mind about anything that's like super odd. Like I really enjoy these meet and greets. It's what the business is all about. Like it creates moments for people, and it reminds me what the business is really about. Like the most recent example, someone brought their son to a meet and greet, and he, like the Pokemon parody that I'd done, he was dressed as Pikachu, and we got to sing the song together. It was a really cool moment. And the dad uploaded it to social media, so you can see that clip. That was a lot of fun, and those are the moments that you remember. Any bad moments, I don't really remember them, to be honest, because they're just so overwhelmingly positive. I've got such a great bond with the fans because it's them that are fueling everything that's happening. It's not about me; it's about them.
It is, and I tell you, the Philly radio guy. Look, I have no love lost for Philadelphia, of course, being a Dallas Cowboys fan, so that's the big rivalry there in the NFL. But yeah, I get it. And look, you're right, and you acknowledge the fans, even at during your entrance when you make that turn, and flash that beautiful smile, which is fantastic. And you're acknowledging the fans, and then the fans love you, and it's so much fun. Before I let you go, I want to ask a favor. Can I'd love to get a reader from you for my show. Are you able to do that?
It depends what you want me to say.
You do you. It's basically you do you. The name of the show is Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. So
all right,
and that's in.
All right, let's go. You ready?
Whenever you're ready.
You ready? Say his name and he appears. This is Joe Hendry here, and it is time for you to listen to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Perfect. That's awesome. I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Just send me the $500 on my Cameo.
You got it. The check's in the mail. That's what we say in the radio business. He is Joe Hendry. Say his name, and he will appear. We all believe in Joe Hendry. Catch him this Friday and Saturday in Tampa, Florida, TNA Wrestling at the Florida State Fairgrounds. And, of course, see him weekly on TNA Impact Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on Access TV. Joe, I appreciate all the time you've given me. You're an absolute sensation. I love watching you. All the best to you, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, my friend. Take care.